Hey everybody, it's Bruno and MB. We're back again. I said this last time, but people want to hear this stuff because, Trevor's an expert at BullsEye Recruitment. You're the president and CEO, Trevor Johnson.
Yes,
nice to
sir.
see you.
Good to see you, Bruno. Thanks for having me out. Appreciate it.
We're going to be talking about something that I think exists. And who best to ask but an expert in this area. But here's what I'm going to tell you. Well, you talked about this in one of your previous episodes. It's like people engage you. So what kind of people engage you? And what kind of searches do you do?
Right. So BullsEye Recruitment, I'm a specialized recruiter of accounting and finance professionals. So I work predominantly with CFOs, corporate controllers, director of finance, VP of finance. Those are typically the individuals that would hire me. And presidents of organizations who are looking to replace those people at some point, unfortunately. But basically anyone that falls under the CFO, really up to about a senior accountant level. A senior accountant and up, financial analyst, senior financial analyst, assistant controller, manager of financial reporting. There's a lot of accountants.
Yeah. Here's something this is the part I want to talk about in our kind of our thumbnail to introduce this came up. And it's kind of like just being honest. And what I mean by being honest, not you being honest, me being honest, is that people, especially at the higher level, are a little worried sometimes to tell us how desperate they are to find somebody.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's called telling the truth or just being honest. I don't know. Being honest maybe is not the right term, but just tell me what you're looking for. And I know you're an expert at trying to pull it out of people.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, why don't they just tell you the truth? Walk us through what I'm trying to say here.
Yes. So it goes back to an earlier discussion we had about clarity and about being able to provide open communication that will allow us to be collaborative in hiring the right person. And so I find that, in some situations where, we've come through an economy here where staff has been reduced, hiring managers are working at extensive hours because the company had to reduce overhead costs. There's sometimes the fear of like, okay, I'm running ragged at my job and I don't know if I'll be able to train that person. I don't know if I'm going to be able to survive their training time or, I need someone that's really independent because I don't have that ability to coach, train, and complete my job tasks. Right. And so, or, maybe the company's had a high turnover rate because of difficult leadership. Difficult leadership is a reality. And when we look at the fact that 70% of people leave their employment situation because of their direct supervisor, Bruno, that's a big number. And so when we as a recruiter, as a specialized recruiter, I need to understand what has been the relationships within the organization. I need to understand what pain points do you have as a hiring manager? What are the barriers that are in your way that are preventing you from bringing in top talent? Whether it's at a controller level, divisional controller, accounting manager, payroll manager, the position title doesn't really matter as much as what is the reality that the person's walking into? What's the truth that they're going to be dealing in?
Well, you're kind of at the, at your level of, specialized. When I say specialized recruiting, is that you don't pick any company to work for.
Correct.
Like there's got to be some criteria because you're going to be working really hard for that person for a period of time. And I think it comes down to what you're saying, I believe, is just tell me.
Just tell me. Just give me the goods.
Yeah, don't put on this cavalier approach. It's like, we're a great company to work for, this and the other thing. And then
that's all out there.
Yeah.
That's already out there. I need to know what are the challenges. What is going to be the reality when the person walks in the door? What are they faced with day one? And so when an individual walks into the front, they want to know that the social media that they've read and the highlights of the company's website and what they're all about are actually true. And so you can be in flux as an organization or as a leader. You can have challenges in directing staff. So let's be honest about that and let's work together and understand how to maximize that next hiring position to elevate your own position. How can we help you achieve your results in your career by bringing in a complementary person that's going to actually help you with not only the technical competencies, but also perhaps maybe leadership competencies. It's a fantastic way to hire.
You know, one of the things that I've always admired about how you approach things is kind of like you're always kind of, and you slowly but surely, and sometimes quickly.
I hope quickly.
Well, but it's not your fault.
Effectively,
yeah, but it's not your fault. Some people kind of go, everything's cool. I don't really need to hire them. I don't need, and then you find out they're in triage.
Right. Yeah.
You know, the board of directors are coming down, and not that you ever tell me the exact companies, but we've had conversations about this. And a lot of you guys out there in the senior level, you come across everything's fine, but it's not fine.
Oh, no.
And I think you have to be honest with your doctor, and you have to be honest with your
recruiter,
professional search executive and recruiter.
Yeah.
If you're in triage, tell them you're in triage, because that's how you're going to treat it, right?
Yeah. But so I would say on that, Bruno, is that just because you're in triage, it doesn't mean that we're going to shortcut the job. We're not going to shortcut the process. It is every time, what is your need? What is the clarity, technical and personality, character values, competencies? How does it interact with the rest of the organization? We never shortcut that, even if you're in a triage situation, because really at the end of the day, we will get through the next week or the next month. We want to make sure that we're bringing in the right person the first time and effectively satisfying the need.
See, on your side, you really need to exercise a lot of patience, right?
Yeah.
I know that comes from parenting and marriage and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. But you have kind of a background in martial arts. I guess that's what.
Yes, I do. Yes.
Walk us through that. What kind of things have you been able to translate or
martial arts, golf? They're kind of, you have to have patience in it, right?
Terrible at both those things. Patience. Martial arts, golf.
Well, discipline, right?
Discipline.
So it's about discipline, patience, recognizing that each move, moves you to the next one, right? So, I find that, when you're practicing your patterns and you're getting ready to demonstrate your capabilities, it's the same thing in dissecting a search, really. Understand intimately what it is that is important to that hiring manager. And if you're in a triage critical situation, great, I can put emphasis on your search and make more calls in a single day. But the fact is we're not going to sacrifice the hiring decision based on, how quick we are to market. We want to hire the right person the first time, and we want to do it with an objective-based recruitment process that allows us to hire that person both on technical competency and character value that align with the corporate organization.
And we're talking about, your professional search firm, BullsEye Recruiting you can get all the information down here. You give back quite a bit, especially on your career coaching side. Walk us through that the program you got.
Yeah. So several years ago, 5 years ago, in fact, I was approached to assist the Calgary Dream Center, a fantastic facility, and help. Basically, I designed a career development program, which basically is to help the guests of the Dream Center reintegrate into the workplace. And so in that, I work with a group of volunteers, and I love them and appreciate them dearly. We roll out on a weekly basis, which aligns well with the Calgary Dream Center's rehabilitation program. It's a 7-week course. So we start on the foundation of basically a job search and understanding that, having a positive attitude, understanding what your skills are. People often run into a job search thinking, okay, I'll put my resume together. But what happens is they don't often stop and do a skills assessment where they break down their technical competencies. What have they done in the workplace from each of the workplaces they've probably been in, as well as, looking at their educational support, what kind of tickets do they have if they're in trades. And we really help individuals go through this 7-week process. We start with personal positive behavior, values, technical competency, skills. We break it into how to set goals. We have a goal setting session. So understanding short, long, and longer term goals. We also break into resume writing and how to effectively write a resume. networking, how to actually effectively network in a relationship, not just send your resume out.
Sure.
So it's a very effective process. We talk about actually even the interview process and doing mock interviews with these individuals and help them understand how to best represent the skills and values that they learned previously and how to highlight that communication and how to bring that out. And then when you talk about once you've even accepted the position, how do you actually now have to behave in the workplace? And how do you not only take the position you've earned through that interview process and job search techniques, but how do you now elevate yourself within that organization? And so it's a 7-week program. It's fantastic with the volunteer group that we have. And yeah, it's super fun.
I didn't realize it was that long. That's a big commitment that you put into that.
Yeah, we meet on a weekly basis every Wednesday night, and we do that at the Dream Center, and we do full classroom presentation, often anywhere from 20 to 25 guests a night. And so it really...
That's crazy good.
It's fun because you're helping individuals identify what their want is and how they can actually utilize their training and knowledge in getting back into a place where they feel confident about who they are and what they've done. And recovery is a tough go. And I'm not a psychologist in that in any way, but they put one pant leg in at a time, just like you or I. And I believe that everybody should have the opportunity to communicate their strengths, and this is a great way that not only I but my team of volunteers are able to do that.
Congratulations! I didn't realize it was that long of a program. That's a heck of a commitment, and that's a great way for you and your company to give back. And I've gotten to know you a little bit over the years, and I know it comes from the heart. And good for you! Congratulations on all that.
Thank you.
So, and I think it goes back to what we originally started talking about, is that be open and honest on where you're at.
Where you're at.
Right, and where you want to go, and somebody like you will help.
Yes.
Professionally, you get there to the next level. Yeah. So, this was a great spot. I really appreciate everything. So,
thank you.
Here with Trevor from BullsEye Recruitment. The website, I always let you say that because I always get them wrong.
BullsEyeRecruitment.com.
There you go. So click down here. We'll get some more information. You got some great, white papers, blogs.
Yeah, there's great material there.
So we'll get them to them. So thanks a lot, Trev.
Thank you, Bruno. Yeah.